all you other ones, and hello, Facebook and YouTube. Hey, my name is Regina, and I normally come on for morning inspiration to help people to have a wonderful day in the morning. Check my hair here. Hey, today I've been well, not today, but for the past couple of weeks, I have been doing a series on happy marriages. My husband and I are very happily married, and a lot of people always ask us, how do you guys have such a great relationship? There's a lot of people looking to get married and want to have a good relationship. And there's a lot of people who've had some bad relationships, and they're trying to figure out how they can have a great relationship. And so I decided I would take a couple of weeks and start just trying to motivate people and inspire people the way that my husband and I have our relationship. And basically, it's easy instructions. I don't even have to write a book on this because there's a book that's already written. It's called the Bible. Trust me, the Bible works. If you would take the Bible and take lessons out of the Bible as it relates to marriage, the way husbands are, the way wives are, relationships in general, I promise you, you will have a great marriage. Here's what you have to understand though. You can't just figure, well, I'm going to just marry anybody and then I'm going to open up the Bible and make my marriage a perfect marriage. Wait, hold on. Like they say, pump the brakes. If you're single, what you want to do is you want to start looking in the Bible first to find out the definition of what God defines as a good husband. And also, if you're a woman, find out what God defines as a good wife. Because you also want to be a good wife to that gentleman. Remember, ladies, gentlemen are out here looking for good wives. If you missed the episode yesterday, go on there on my page. It's on Facebook and YouTube, and it explains how husbands ought to love their wives. Okay, so go back and look at that video. But today I'm continuing my marriage series by talking to you all, and we are focusing today on the husbands. Yes, you're right, Holy Spirit. I come on live every morning at 10 a.m. every morning at 10 a.m. on these channels that you're looking at now, and you'll see me every morning at 10 a.m. Okay. Listen, today I want to talk to you again about marriage. We're going to be talking to the husbands. We're talking to the husbands today, and we're going to have some great information for them. Good morning, Bishop. Good morning. Thank you so much for chiming in today. Thank you so much for watching. You and your great wife, Pastor First Lady Ermentine Norwood. Thank you so much. Check out Bishop's page today at 12 noon. He'll be on and he'll give you some great words of inspiration. If you would like to have me also shout out your information, it's easy. Just put a comment in the link so that I can see that you're watching, and I'll give you a shout out as well. Let's get started. Today, we're talking about husbands. Husbands, you have a new family. When you get married, you have a new family. Why am I saying that? Because of the verse that we're going to today. Let's check this out. And what I like to do is I like to use different versions of the Bible so that it's easy for you to understand. It's easy for you to understand. It's simplified format, okay? So today we're going to Genesis chapter 2, verse 24. Why not start in the beginning, right? First book of the Bible. Let's go ahead and start there. Genesis chapter 2, 24. Men, husbands, this is what it says. That's why a man will leave his own father and mother. He marries a woman, and the two of them shall become like one person. The first thing a lot of you husbands have to realize when you get married is you're leaving your parents. Now, some people may say, well, we still need to live there. You know, there's a pandemic going on. We're not necessarily talking about leaving their house. If you need to still live in a house, and listen, I'm not bringing no shame to anybody because I know financial things, how they work. But what I'm saying, what this verse is actually saying to you is that you are no longer putting your parents first. Your wife is basically being the one that's put first. So a lot of people oftentimes they call men mama's boys or daddy's boys or stuff like that. I'm not into the name calling. I don't like doing that. But there are some men who choose to cleave closer to their mothers than they do to their wives. They choose to respond and run fast to their mom for help, or run to their mom to help their mom, or put their mom first and not put the wife first. And that tends to be a problem in the marriage because the wife wants to be special also. You are her husband, and the one person that she's going to want to make her feel special is her husband. Remember, your mom had a husband also, or has a husband also, and he is to make your moms feel special, and you as a husband are to make your wife feel special. Why would you have you as a son making your wife feel number one and her husband making her feel number one, and then your wife is not anywhere in the picture? That's not right. Somebody is being left out, and it's your wife. And unfortunately, what some women do when they're not getting the number one choice or number one selection in their husband's life, they tend to look for that attention somewhere else. Women, I'm not saying that's the right thing to do, but I know that it has been done. But we don't want to do that. So we want to teach our husbands and have them understand Genesis chapter 2, verse 24. Men, we're not saying to leave your family and not have anything to do with them. That's not what we're saying. We're not saying don't treat mama special sometimes. That's not what we're saying. What we're saying today is your wife is supposed to be the one that's priority, and your wife is the one that needs your special attention. And if your mom says, well, I need you to do this for me, or you supposed to make sure that I'm first. I'm your mom. I gave birth to you, and you can't forget your mom. You tell her, yeah, mama, you are my mom. I'm not gonna forget you. I'm never gonna forget you. Yes, you gave birth to me. But you tell your mom, Genesis chapter 2, God said, I've got to leave from over here and I've got to go over here to my wife. Let your mom know that. Let's look at this in another version so that we can get it more simplified. It says in Genesis 2, chapter 2, verse 24, it says here in the ESV version, therefore a man shall leave his father and his mother and hold fast to his wife, and they shall become one flesh. Now look at this. Thank you, Holy Spirit. This part says, and they shall become one flesh. So if you as a husband are always going and trying to cater to your mom and run to your mom and do this for your mom or do this for your dad, and do all this and all this and all this, and you and your wife are supposed to be one, you're actually having your wife feel the effects of all of that as well. And she's not getting the attention that she should. Everything of her that's a part of you is being drugged into your parents. You see that? You're pulling her right along with you. And so your marriage will end up suffering somewhat because you're not cleaving to your wife. You're not holding fast to your wife. You should hold fast to your wife and understand that your parents are going to be okay. Now, mind you, I am not saying don't help your parents in some situations. I am not saying that. But what I am saying is to make sure that you're not always focusing on your wife, on your mother and your father, and not focusing on your wife. That's what I'm saying. It says in the ESV, therefore a man shall leave his father and his mother and hold fast to his wife, and they shall become one flesh. This is what happens a lot of times in marriages where husbands don't know how to separate the relationship between the wife and the mother. He doesn't know how to separate. Sometimes the men say, well, listen, I'm stuck in the middle. I don't know what to do. I feel like there's a tug of war going on. I feel like my mom's pulling me this way. My wife is pulling me this way. And I just don't know what to do. And so you have to get into the word and find out. I'm going to get some comments from my husband who just walked in. We're going to get a male side point of view from this, and I'm so happy he's agreed to join me on this because we need a husband's point of view on this as well, right? Let's look at this in the NET version, which I love this particular version for this. It says this in Genesis chapter 2 verse 24. It says, that is why a man leaves his father and mother and unites with his wife, and they become a new family. That's what marriage is intended to be, a new family. That is why you leave your old family, your mother, your father. You're not necessarily leaving them all together, but you're creating a new family with your wife. And so the focus and attention all starts to be with your wife. And remember, what you're teaching to your children is what they're going to learn from what you're doing. So if you're always running doing this for your parents and not doing anything for your wife, your children are going to learn that. And let me tell you, they're going to do the same thing in their relationships when they get older, right? So hey, I want to talk to my husband today who just joined us. He's just probably not going to come on camera because he's always camera shy. But let's get a male's point of view. Honey, what do you think about this? Husbands are subject to today's Happy Marriage series, which he's aware of. And we're talking today about husbands cleaving to their wives. What's your thoughts on this?
Well, when you get married, it's your responsibility to cleave to your wife. She's the first priority. No, God is first priority, and then your wife, and then your your family members. But you always put your wife first. Make sure she's taken care of and everything that she needs. She's have it that to sustain her.
What do you think about the term husbands leave your father and mother and unite with your wife? What do you think some marriages suffer because men don't know how to leave their mother? What do you think if I told you, hey, you need to stop, all this with your mom? Although my mother-in-law, she's in heaven, but we had a great relationship.
What do you
What do
mean
you think?
stop? Stop what? What are you talking about? Like stop what?
Okay, so for instance, and that's a
Uh-huh.
great question because men, that's a great question, right? So, what I think sometimes from a woman's point of view, from a wife, and y'all, most of you know that I was married before I had a previous marriage. So, one thing that I did not like about my previous marriage was my husband's mom would come over to our house
Mhm.
and she would tell him, listen, you need to take me to the store, you need to do this, you need to do that. And then she would tell him, you need to tell your wife she needs to make the house look this way and put the furniture this way, and she needs to make sure she does this and so forth. It's almost as though she was running my house.
Right.
So, and I would tell my husband, you need to tell your mom this is not her house. This is our house.
Mhm.
And we run things in this house.
Right.
Why are you allowing your mom to do it? And what he would do is he would say, well, my mom is, she's my mom. So, she's wiser. He would use that term. She's wiser. So go ahead and change the furniture around the way she said, and do what she says, because she's my mom and you're just my wife.
Mm.
Don't you hate that term, just my wife? So what do you think about something like that?
That's inappropriate. When you get married, you and your wife becomes one. So if you have something that you need to talk about, you should discuss it. If your mom comes over and said, "Oh, I need to do this or do that," you should first, say, "Let me talk to my wife and see if you have something that you need to do
Right.
first." And if you said, "No, honey, I don't have nothing for you to do," then and you could go ahead and do what your mom asked you to do, then that's but at first you need to ask, sit down with your wife and discuss the situation. Then if she you come together, and if you come together and you decide that it's okay, and so you go ahead and do it so you won't have no friction in your house after your mom leaves.
Right. What do you think about this term? Because I know this what happens a lot with husbands and wives. A wife dresses a certain way.
Mhm.
The husband likes it, but then the husband's mom doesn't like it. And then the mom tells the husband, you need to talk to her about the way she dresses. And the husband is like, inside, he's saying, listen, I like the way she dresses, but my mom is saying this. So I'm going to tell my wife, well, my mom said this, so, you're around my mom, dress a certain way. Should a husband tell his wife that? How do you think a husband should handle a situation like that? Because there's been some situations that I've seen some friends, and I'm speaking on experiences that I've seen with some friends and their relationships. Oh, Justin has a question. I'm going to get to that question too, Justin. Hey, Justin. So, what do you think about something like that?
If you're comfortable the way your wife dresses, then you're gonna, you explain to your mom that you're comfortable with it, and
Right.
and if you're comfortable with it, then should be no questions or no, why you let your wife dress this way or dress that way. Just let them know that you're comfortable with it, and if it gets uncomfortable, you'll let her know, and then we'll take care of it together. We'll handle the situation.
Let's have a little role play. Let's do a role play today. He's looking at me like, what? Let's have a role play, and then we're gonna get to Justin's questions over here on Instagram. Let's have a role play. Okay, I'm the mama,
Hmm.
and you're the husband. You're the new husband. I'm the mama. Okay, I'm gonna pretend to be the mom that has a problem with your wife, and you tell me how you're gonna handle it. Okay.
Okay.
All right, Clovis, your wife came over today, and you think that she can probably lose a couple of pounds? You think that, I mean, I think you feeding her too much. Next thing you know, you're going to have this big woman on your couch. Or is she doing any housework? What's up with this woman that you married?
She's my wife, and if I like her the way that she is, then it's fine with me and the house that we live in. But if things get out of control, I'll let her know. I'll take care of the situation myself. I'm old enough to handle the situation, and I thank you for your advice, but I got it under control.
Oh, so now you think you grown. You don't left my house. You think you grown? She done change your mind. She got you acting all different. You used to respect your mom. What happened? You're not now since you married her. You're not respecting your mom.
I still respect you, but I've grown, and I'll handle the situation if anything arises. So be assured that I have it under control.
You don't love your mom anymore. That's what I'm hearing. You don't love your mom no more. You don't. You used to be my baby boy, and you don't love your mom anymore. You just letting this woman come in and take my son away from me.
It's not what you think, Ma. Just relax. Everything is under control. There's no need for crying or bickering or anything. I still love you.
There you go. And I'm laughing. I'm not making light of the situation, but when I tell you that these are some real things that have happened with some friends and stuff that we've had, these things have happened,
Mhm.
But when I'm laughing, it's just, just to humor in our relationship. I'm not laughing at somebody else's relationship. But men, you have to be able to have a conversation with your mom. And you see how calm and sweet my husband was when he had the conversation? He didn't yell, he didn't scream, and that's actually the way he spoke to his mom when his mom was alive. And so you have to have that same type of relationship with your mom where you could speak to her, but he always kept his wife first. But he also did not put down his wife. I mean, his mom. He also did not put down his mom. So I love that. So, men, you've got to be able to understand that you're building a new relationship with your wife. Okay. Justin has a question over here. He said, is marriage for everyone? Do you think marriage is for everyone? What do you think?
Marriage is not for everyone. I don't think.
Okay.
Marriage is not just you know you come in and you decide, oh, the marriage is not working, and you just dissolve it. You have to know that marriage is what you want, and the person that you're going to marry is the person that you want to be married to for the long haul.
I think that's great. And you know what? Marriage is not for everyone. Marriage, and some people may say that it is, but we have to also understand there are some people that they will not venture into the joint relationship of marriage. Some of them do it by choice. A lot of people, especially missionary people, they may not want to get married because they're on a lot of mission fields. Some of them because of their jobs, some of them because of their past relationships, some of them because of their past family relationships, they will not marry. And some people just decide, hey, marriage is just not for me. Would I like for everyone to get married? Yes, Justin. I would love for everybody to get married. I would love for Justin to get married and find a great spouse. But let me tell you, it would be up to the individual, because marriage is not always easy and fun. It starts out easy and fun maybe the first month, and then after that, your space is being invaded because you're living together. Your home is not going to be just your home. If you put a cup down, it may be moved, and stuff you put down in the house, somebody may move it. So your whole living situation will be interrupted by someone new coming in. They may not do things the way you're used to doing it, and people who have lived alone for such a long time sometimes have a hard time adapting to the other individual coming in to the household. So, but my thoughts on this question, is marriage for everyone, with Justin posted. I think I would love for everyone to get married, but I don't think that everyone is capable of handling and staying married. Most people end up getting married for the sake of being married, but they may not stay married. Before you venture into marriage, a full marriage relationship, check out our prior videos, because there's a lot of information on there, and understand that marriage is going to come in and change your world, but it's supposed to change your world for the better, not for the worse. Right? It's supposed to be a help person for you. The Bible calls them a helpmate. There is supposed to be someone that is coming into your relationship to help you throughout your life. It is so great to have someone in the household with me, to know that I've got somebody I can call on if I need some help, if I'm feeling lonely, if there's, just, that compassion, to have somebody there, because, I like having someone there. But then there's also the times where I want my alone time, and I still have someone here. And so you have to be able to balance the two. Okay. So, hey, our thoughts on husbands. You have a new family with your wife. Today's verse, Genesis chapter 2, verse 24. Listen, says it best in the NET version. That is why a man leaves his father and mother and unites with his wife, and they become a new family. Make sure that you remember that, okay, while you're out there searching before you get married. Or if you're married now, just go back and fix some cracks that are probably in your marriage. And then you'll make sure that you have a happy marriage from here going forward. Tune in each morning at 10 a.m. right here on these channels that you're on. If you missed them on Instagram, because we're posting today, they're on our YouTube page and our Facebook page at Clovis and Regina, or our new channel, The Simple Truth Radio Live. The Simple Truth is on there as well. I'll put it in the comment section. Thank you all for joining today. Y'all have a great day. What do you think about them, baby? You want to tell them have a great day?
Have a great day, each and every one of you guys out there.
See y'all later. Bye.